guys, and welcome to my second Vlogmas video of 2020. Thank you so much for all the nice comments you left on my first week of Vlogmas. I finally got it out, thank goodness. It's a lot of work doing Vlogmas, but I enjoy it and I hope you do too. As you saw, we had a wonderful trip to our cabin in the mountains, and this was actually the first time we brought some friends. I didn't film them because I kind of like to enjoy the moment when I spend time with other people, which is kind of a treat these days. But we had a wonderful time, and it was so nice to share our cabin with other people. So a big shout out to Erik and Anneli. Thank you so much for a wonderful weekend. This week, as you see, I have used, today it's Wednesday, and I have used Monday and Tuesday getting my first Vlogmas video out, doing a little bit of Christmas decor in between. I still have a lot to do and still working on my gold tree, which I hope is my next video. So I hope when you see this video you have seen my gold tree, and I hope it turns out beautiful. When I tried it out, I did not like it, but yeah, I hope I can make something beautiful out of it, because I have done a lot of work so far. So yeah, this week it's what we in Norway and Sweden call Lucia, Saint Lucia. I don't know how you say it in English. I think it's Saint Lucia. In Italian, Santa Lucia, I think. But yeah, that's the 13th, and that's it's a, as I have told you before, it's a big celebration in Sweden, but in Norway as well. The kids have these, is it called parades? It's kind of a small parade inside of the kindergarten and the schools and the old folks home. I'm sorry, that is probably not the political correct way to say that, but that's the only English way I know how to say it. Yeah, but you know the drift. We wear, or not we, but the one that is dressed up as Lucia is all dressed in white, and she comes with lights on her head. I will talk more about that later. Right now I'm on my computer answering your comments, and as you can see, or maybe not all of you, but some of you may recognize that lady. It's Christine McConnell. She's the most creative lady I have ever seen, and I'm a Patreon. That means that I actually pay to see her videos, and if you like someone that's immensely creative and so good with details and has this kind of gothic, vintage, Victorian, wonderful creepy, beautiful style. You will love her. There is some videos out on her YouTube channel. I will link her YouTube below. But she's so talented. So if you are considering becoming a patron of anybody, I would choose her. Okay guys, I have to, today as I said is Wednesday, so this weekly vlog, I didn't vlog Monday and Tuesday because that's me either standing here on the computer or sitting in my chair on the computer, and not much to show. But today I have to keep on working on my gold tree, and then I have to do some Christmas decorating. So I'll see you later, guys. Okay guys, I just wanted to show you how I have started to plan the decor of my living room tree. This is the tree that's usually traditional, but this year I have given myself permission to to make a more aesthetically pleasing tree, because I love this glittery flock tree I bought last year, and I want to see how it looks with a more aesthetic decor. So I have these garlands of these I know the name of this flower, yeah, but I think the leaves are a bit too green, so I'm wondering if I'm going to do something with those. I'm going to have a lot of icicles and other things as well, but just trying out. And then I wanted to show you the inspiration for my gold tree, and that is these branches, gold glittery branches that I bought last year. This is a sneak peek of my fireplace mantle, but this is the look I hope my tree will have, or at least something similar to this. I thought I would try to make this more frosty. So I have white glitter and silver glitter and Mod Podge, and I'll see what I can do with that. I think that I'm not sure if I should, maybe I should paint the leaves first. I don't know. Oh, if this works, it's going to it's going to be a lot of work. We'll see. I think I'll just do it on this side. That looks green, not. For some reason that looks very green. I don't know why. Maybe I have to paint it white first. I think maybe so. I don't know when it dries, but I did not. Why does that glitter come out all green? How does it look in camera? Can you see how green it is? It doesn't look that green on camera, but in real life it looks very green. That was not what I wanted. Okay, so I tried, it's not easy to see on camera, but I tried different things, and I think this is what I have to do. I'll use white paint and silver glitter on the leaves. The white came out way too green, the white glitter. So I'll go and try it on the tree and see what I think. Good morning, guys. It is Thursday and I have been out buying some more Mod Podge, some with glitter and some without, to continue my projects. Mod Podge is very expensive. I have to pay about £20. I guess that's about 20 or more dollars as well for this little jar. Is it that expensive where you're at as well? I just thought that was expensive. So a bit strange week to do vlogging, because all I do is crafting the same thing over and over, but I'm hoping this weekend will be more exciting. But for it to be more exciting, I have to get crafting again, so I'll just have to change and then I'll continue. The weather in Norway is still so sad, and it's so dark. It's like the sun, north in Norway now it's dark all day and all night, but here in the east of Norway, or south and east of Norway, it's not supposed to be like that, but it feels like the sun is up, almost up, maybe for an hour, and then it's gone. So dark, but even more important to get the house Christmassy and cozy. So I'll just change and I'll have to head out and into my crafting room and continue my crafting. Before I change, I just wanted to show you my outfit. Not that this is a fashion channel, but this is an H&M outfit, and I felt actually pretty nice today, so I wanted to share. This is a jumper with, oh my god, how do people do this? Like that, maybe? With this pin, it comes with a jumper. And then the trousers are full leather trouser, also from H&M, and they are very small in size, so I had to size up 2 sizes actually, but I thought this was a very cute outfit, or not cute but nice. So H&M, which reminds me, why do English people say H&M and herbs? I was taught that it's called H&M, that the letter H is pronounced H, not H. So why do you say herbs. Is it called herbs or herbs? H&M or H&M, as many of you, the young YouTubers, say. Just wondering, guys. I don't know if I showed you, but this is my kind of test flower, and poinsettia, now I remembered. And I think it's much more beautiful when it's like this, and it kind of goes more with the green and glitter of the tree. So that's one of the things I'm going to work on now, to change paint every leaf on the garlands and put glitter on.
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Shepherds, why this jubilee? Why your joyous strains prolong? What the gladsome tidings be, which inspire your happy song? Gloria.
Hi guys, it is Friday and I have had a really lazy morning, just tidying the house, eating breakfast. Yeah, not doing much. It's still a grey day, but I'm going to keep on working on my crafting. I keep straining my neck. I have an injury in my neck, and me sitting like this and working is not good for my neck, but I get kind of caught up in what I'm doing, so I don't feel it until it's too late. So I'm trying to take it a bit easy today, even though I'm beginning to get a bit stressed. Bought my first Christmas present online today, so that's one done. Thank God we don't, or not thank God, but we don't have many to buy for, so it's not a big job, but it has to be done. So today I'm going to keep on with my crafting, try to do a bit more decorating, and as I said, it's Lucia, so I'm working on what I hope will be a little treat for you, or comedy show, we'll see. I hope my vision is going to turn out okay. I'm sure when I start doing the filming, my neighbors is going to think I've gone completely bonkers, but anything for you, my friends. Okay guys, I have to walk the dogs. My grandson is home with flu-like symptoms. We don't know if it's COVID, but we're keeping our distance, but we do spend a little time together outdoors and think that's safe, so we're going to take the dog for a walk, and I'll see you in a bit. Good morning guys, it is Saturday and look what is falling from the sky. It is snowing a little bit, but it's still too hot for the snow to stay, so fingers crossed it will be a little bit colder. Good morning, guys. I think I can still get away with saying good morning. Of course, the snow didn't stick. It has turned into rain and another gray and foggy and sad looking day outside. So even more important for me to get my house in order. As you can see, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, as they say in the song. I have a really busy day. Of course, I procrastinate and I wait until the last moment for everything. So today I thought I would take you along as I decorate the crooked branch I have hanging in my living room. I decorate that the same way, almost the same way every year. It's one of the kind of traditional displays in my house. So I thought I would take you along and show you how I do that. I didn't know crafting yesterday because of my neck. Feeling better today, so I'll try and do a bit more on that today. And then it's my Lucia surprise, or yeah, I have to film that. So a lot to do today, so I just have to get going, guys. So first, and I'm in my PJs, and I have planned to stay in my PJs the whole day. They are festive, but you are going to see my Christmas decorated, big, expensive, beautiful bum. Yeah, if that's too much, you just have to fast forward. But it's not my bum I'm trying to show, it's my decorating. So that's what I'm going to do now. And I did my tree last night, so here's a sneak peek. I was going for a kind of a woodsy, spiky look. I'm not sure. It looks like I've just thrown the whole box of decor on the tree, but it's sparkly, it's red, it's gold. It'll do. Okay, so that took me about half an hour crawling around in the loft to find, but I found it. And some years ago I bought a light chain with string of lights with these icicles on, and the light stopped working, so I took it off. So I thought I would start by attaching it to a new string of lights. So that's what I'll do first.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky.
So that's the icicles with, no, that's the light with the small icicles done. So now I just hang a lot of different icicles, bigger icicles, different size and different shapes.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
all the icicles done. I think I put on about 30 or 35. I know it's difficult to see. I'm going to take you closer, but when I'm finished. And now I go in with these. Let's see if we can get the camera to focus. No, it doesn't want to. These are small birds with beads on. I have 2 of those, and I have this star that I hang above to kind of look like the Bethlehem star, or yeah, some kind of star.
When the blazing sun is gone, when nothing shines upon, then you show your little light.
It's really difficult to get nice shots of this because of the lighting, but I hope you can get a kind of sense of how it now looks like a frosted, beautiful branch. And this is the area I'm working on, so I'll just keep on working on this. It's not much more to do here, but some finishing touches. Now guys, I always get a lot of questions on what kind of branch this is, and it's the Latin name is Coryllis avellana, commonly called European filbert, European hazelnut, or cobnut. In Norwegian we call it verihassel or trollhassel. It's if I were to translate directly, it would be troll hazel, or what's or hazel that's been twisted hazel. But yeah, European filbert, European hazelnut, or cobnut, I hope is the correct English word for it. Or as I said, the Latin, and I cannot read Latin, but Coryllis avellana contorta. So now you know. Hi guys, and happy Sunday. I think I have recorded this part of the vlog 10 times because it's so long and I keep saying so here goes nothing. This is my last attempt, and hopefully I can do it. As I said, happy Sunday. It's the last Sunday of my second week of Vlogmas. I'm still in my festive PJs and I'm going to stay that way all day because it's Sunday. But it's not any Sunday, it is Lucia Day, or Santa Lucia, and that's on the, every year that's on the 13th of December. It doesn't have to be a Sunday, it's the 13th of December. And I don't know how much you know about Lucia or Saint Lucia. I'm going to refer to it as Lucia. That's how we say it in Norwegian. Yeah. And I don't know how much you know about Lucia, but it is a very big tradition or celebration in Sweden. It's not a very big tradition, but it is something we usually celebrate by baking, which I'm going to show you in a minute or several minutes. And we have these light processions with children. But first I thought I would give you a short history lesson. I can't remember what I told you about Lucia last year, and there goes Urian, my fur pup, that just decided that he's going to eat his lunch right now. Okay, so that's the chewing in the background, but back to Lucia. It's originally, or the religion part of it is originally a Catholic celebration. And the story has it that in the year of 303, a young virgin was turned in by her fiancé for breaking the emperor's rule. And the rule she broke that made her fiancé turn her in was that she had talked her mother into giving her dowry. You know, the money or the wealth that in some traditions that girls get to take with her into the marriage. She had convinced her mother to give that to the poor. So I can only imagine the fiancé that may have thought he had kind of made a good deal with this wife being very disappointed when he found out that all the wealth was gone, and then he turned her in. And she was actually convicted and died as a martyr in Sicily in the year of 303. And when she died with her strong conviction and with a burning lamp in her hand. And as you will hear from the rest of the story, the light in her hand part is important. So when I read about this, I was wondering, why is Norway and Sweden, why do we have this Catholic tradition in Norway? We are Lutheran, Christian Lutheran traditionally, and I was wondering about that. And you can imagine around the year 1000, I think, was the year Norway became a Christian country. The Vikings were still roaming around, and then how would you get these barbaric Vikings to kind of embrace the traditions of the Christians? So what they did is that they often found heathen traditions that they could link to the Christian, or the other way around. They found the Christian tradition that they could link to the heathen tradition that we already had in Norway. And we had winter solstice, which was called Lussenatt, and that was the today the winter solstice is at the 20th of December, but in the old calendar it was on the 13th of December. And that was Christmas was viewed as a very scary time, probably because it was very dark and cold, and the life here in north was hard in the winter. So it was viewed as a very scary time. And they told, and what they believed was that on the night of Lusse, the dark forces, all the dark forces were let loose, and there were a fight between light and dark, good and evil. The animals could talk, and this was a story that they told children, and the children were told that they should not go out under open skies. And Linked to this heathen tradition was the troll called Lusse, or if she was a troll or a vette. I couldn't find a good translation for a vette, but vette is the creatures that lives underground, and Lusse was seen as kind of one of the rulers of the vette, yeah, the vette creatures. And she was a dangerous, scary lady, going from house to house before Christmas and checking that every Christmas chore was done and done correctly. And if you hadn't done the chores correctly, or if you had forgotten something, she would shout down the chimney and destroy the top of the chimney or anything that was placed on the chimney. So you can imagine that the children that was told this story, they probably was helping with the Christmas chores. I know as a child I would have, if somebody had told me that you do this or vette is coming to shout down the chimney. So yeah, I guess that was an effective story to tell the children. It was there are stories of Lusse maybe being Adam's first wife, and that she is the origin of the name Lucifer that we today know as the name of the devil. Yeah, so there's a lot of myth around this, but this was in the heathen days very common to have this kind of explanations for scary or strange things that people experienced when the seasons changed or when there were happenings in nature. And as I said, we have some tradition when it comes to what we eat. And what we eat is something called Lussekatter. And that's a Swedish tradition that we here in Norway have adopted. And Lussekatter is a sweet yellow sweet bun that's made into strange shapes. And the story behind those were that the people used to, on the night of Lusse, they used to give their animals something good to eat so that they could better fight evil. I don't know if I said, but they also believed that the animals could speak, and then they started giving them these treats or good food to help them fight evil. And this was a tradition that also the humans starting to do. They would eat a nice breakfast early in the morning. And then that in the 1800s developed into the custom of one young girl. It was a custom that started on the big farms, so among rich farmers, and a young girl on the farm, I don't know if it was a servant or if it could be any girl, but she would dress like an angel in a white dress and with lights in her hair. And the lights again has a connection to the lamp that Saint Lucia had in her hand when she died, but it also is a symbol of life and light and the good. And she would serve a nice breakfast to the rich farmers, and then this developed into these sweet buns. And we use traditionally we use saffron, the most expensive herb in or spice in the world, to color the buns yellow for us common people. that does not have saffron. We usually use turmeric, which is much cheaper, but it does the job. It colors it yellow. And the reason why the buns were supposed to be yellow is that the color yellow represented light and life, or sun and the light. And the shapes, and as I will show you, the buns are made into strange shapes, and they have some strange names, like I think one is called the hair of the priest. But these were symbols, again from the church, symbolizing life and the sun. So that, and now he's drinking. So that was the story behind Lucia. Today, it's, as I said, it's usually celebrated in kindergartens and schools and more public buildings or facilities where children dress up in white, and one child dressed up as Lucia and has this crown of lights. And we bake Lussekatter, these yellow sweet buns, and give to people and eat. So that was what I thought I would show you today, how to make. And I'm not going to make Lussekatter from the traditional recipe because I think that's so dry. So I'm just going to make ordinary sweet buns and color them yellow. I don't know if I'm going to use turmeric or just ordinary food coloring. We'll see, but I will show you that, and then I will show you how Lucia looks, and I will also, with a very untrained at the moment, rusty voice, try to sing and show you the Lucia tradition. So this is what you're going to need to make the buns. You're going to need ordinary white flour and sugar, butter, yeast, 50 grams of yeast, and whole milk. I only had skim milk, but whole milk is good. And what was the name of this? Turmeric, or gurkemeie as it's called in Norwegian, and some cardamom and some raisins. And that's to decorate with. So yeah. So the first thing I do is to melt the butter and have the milk into the butter, and then I stir the yeast out in that blend. It must not be warmer than 36 degrees or else you will kill the yeast, but it needs to be it cannot be cold, because then the yeast will not make the dough rise. So that's the first thing I do. I use a bit of both. I take a bit coloring as well. I think I should have only taken that. So my first instinct was right. So I put the yellow milk into the butter, and if it's too hot you have to wait a while, and if it's not hot enough you have to warm it a bit. Mine was not hot enough, and it's supposed to be the same temperature as your body, so when you put your fingers in you're not supposed to feel anything. Not hot, not cold, just the same temperature as your finger. And as you see, I put the coloring in the milk. So now I take a little bit of the blend into the bowl with the yeast, and I stir until the yeast have dissolved. And the reason I just take a little bit is to see the yeast, so I can see when it has dissolved. You don't want to eat a bun with a large chunk of yeast. That's not nice. And then when the yeast has dissolved, I just take the rest of the milk and butter into the bowl. And now I take the sugar and the cardamom and the flour, and I knead, is that what it's called? I knead the dough a bit, and then I leave it to rise for at least an hour. So my dough is done, and it has risen to at least twice its size. So now it's time to shape the dough or the buns. And there are a lot of different, I'm not going to make all of them because it's some of them are too hard actually. I just saw someone first rolling them into ordinary buns because that helps the gluten, and it's going to be easier to roll them out as we want them later. So just do that first. If you have, I assume most of you have done, but if you have never made buns or rolled out buns before, the trick is to squeeze down as you roll, and then slowly making your hand come up to a kind of a cup like that, and then you will get beautiful round buns. Okay, so it's time to make roll the buns into shape. The most common one is some people call it a canthus. That's a plant, while others call it a Christmas pig. I don't know, but it's like this, and this is the most common one, like that. I will show you when they are finished. The raisins we put on after they have risen for a second time. That's my first tray done. So I'll cover it with a cloth, and it will rise again until it doubles in size, and then I will put the raisins on and bake it in the oven. Okay guys, that is my Lussekatter all done. Now let's see if I can remember all the names. This is the priest's spring lily. This is the boy. This is the Christmas deer. This is the priest's hare. This is the gold wagon. And this is the cat of Lusse. This is the cross of Andreas. This is acanthus, which is a plant, or the Christmas pig, and this is another version of the Christmas pig. There are a lot more different shapes, and it differs a bit, the Norwegian and the Swedish, but these are some. So now for the fun part, eating. That was my Lussekatter all done. Lussekatter means the cats of Lusse. So now you have learned about the history behind the Lucia celebration. You have learned how to bake Lussekatter, and I also mentioned that in today's celebration we have a light procession, usually with kids, but in Sweden it's a big thing. The choirs have a big procession in church, and I think it's a very big honor there to be selected the year's Lucia of the year. And it is usually shown on television. And when I was a child, when we only had 3 TV channels and 2 of them was Swedish, it was a treat every year to get up early and watch the light procession from Sweden. But I thought that I would show you a bit of our light procession, or our Lucia here on our farm. Of course, we had a visit from Lucia here. It is me singing a cappella, and I'm sorry I have not been singing much lately, and yeah, I'm afraid my voice, you can hear that on my voice, but I wanted you, I didn't find any copy-free or royalty-free version that I liked, so I had to make my own. I'm singing in Norwegian, and I thought I would, instead of texting while I show you this, I want to read you the translated lyrics so you know what I am singing about. I hope you watch until the end. I have some bloopers in the end, and you will see that we had a lot of fun doing this. I hope you like it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please be safe, and of course next week I come with my 3rd Vlogmas. I'm sorry about the noise in the background. It's my husband washing his clothes, so it makes a bit of a noise. Next week, of course, I'll be back with my 3rd Vlogmas, my Vlogmas week 3, and I don't know yet what's installed for that, but you will see. I'm still working on my gold tree. It has been so much other things to do, so I hadn't have much time to work on it, but it's getting closer, so yeah, hopefully that's my next, or that is my next video. Okay guys, I leave you with the lyrics first to the Lucia song, and then show you a bit of Lucia. Okay guys, this is a direct translation. It's not my translation, it's not very good either, but I think it will give you a sense of what the song is about. We usually call the song just Santa Lucia, but it's actually called Svart senker natten seg. That's Norwegian, and it means dark the night lowers itself. So, here it goes. Dark the night lower itself, in stables and living rooms. The sun has gone away, the shadow threatens. Into our dark house rises with lit candles, Santa Lucia, Santa Lucia. The night is dark and mute. Suddenly it swishes in every silent room like the wind's rustles. Look, at our doorstep stands, dressed in white with candle in hair, Santa Lucia, Santa Lucia. The darkness shall flee soon from the valley of the earth. Like the wondrously words to us speak, the day shall once again be new, rise of red skies, Santa Lucia, Santa Lucia. Okay guys, have a wonderful week, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video. So from me or us to you, here's Santa Lucia. Svart senker natten seg I stall og stue. Solen har gått sin vei, skyggene truer. Inn I vårt mørke hus stiger med tente lys Santa Lucia, Santa Lucia. Inn I vårt mørke hus stiger med tente lys Santa Lucia, Santa Lucia. Natten mørk og stum, med ettersuser I alle tyste rom, som vingen bruser. Se på vår terskel står, hvitkledd med lys I hår, Santa Lucia, Santa Lucia. Se på vår terskel står, hvitkledd med lys I hår, Santa Lucia, Santa Lucia. Mørket skal flykte snart fra jordens daler, slik hun et underfullt ord til oss taler. Dagen skal atter ny stige av røde sky, Santa Lucia, Santa Lucia. Dagen skal atter ny stige av røde sky, Santa Lucia, Santa ha på meg briller. Nå blåste det et lys.
Nei, da.
Ser det fint ut? Nei, slutt opp da. Slukk meg! Slukk meg! Det lukter svidd.
Lukter svidd?
Kjenner du ikke det?
Nei. Lukter stearin?
Nei, det lukter svidd.
Vi gikk ikke.